So I think you said you gasified some communities in Pennsylvania. And this is going to be a question for all three of y'all. Could it be said that those states, New York or others, that are blocking pipelines from, I don't care if the people in New York don't want, natural gas, but isn't that interstate commerce? Has there been any consideration to filing a suit to see if we could keep that state from blocking a pipeline?
Yes, I believe there are considerations afoot, and there have been examples of companies to move the gas. I should preface by saying we're an E&P company up in Pennsylvania, so we're just developing the oil and the natural gas in the Marcellus Shale. We work with companies like Williams or UGI, whoever it might be, to actually move the gas. In some instances, they have gone as far as the Supreme Court. I believe Penny's pipeline project went as far as the Supreme Court. It won against the state of New Jersey, which was blocking its ability to traverse the state of New Jersey to deliver natural gas to, I believe, the New York City and metropolitan area, but still ultimately abandoned the pipeline because of economic reasons and other delays. So to answer your question, yes, there are efforts afoot by the energy industry to navigate these frivolous lawsuits and these stalling tactics, as my colleague on the committee said. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't always work out. But I will say, in-state, in places like Pennsylvania and other areas, gas pipeline projects, like the gasification ones I was mentioning, have been quite successful.
Do y'all have any knowledge about any other suits going forward like that? Either one of y'all? Mr. Tarpley?
Well, I think it's an incredibly important point is that, there is natural gas being imported into the Port of Boston because there's not enough capacity to get through New York State. They pay some of the highest prices in the country. That's incredibly unfair to the people that live up there. There is litigation going on, and I think you bring up a really good point.
Mr. Gusick?
The only thing I would add is, in addition to being imported into the Port of Boston, I believe we're transporting natural gas into New York City by truck now rather than by pipeline to supply needs there because we can't get a pipeline.
Let me follow up on that. The Keystone Pipeline would have come into my district. I'm the Gulf Coast, upper Gulf Coast of Texas. I have 7 ports, more than any other member of Congress. We produce 65% of the nation's jet fuel, 80% of the nation's military-grade fuel, okay? Huge on energy. Some of y'all will know maybe where Mont Belvieu is in Texas. It's like the pipeline capital of the world. The Keystone Pipeline, what Obama shut down, of course, and what Biden shut down after Trump had released a permit, carries 830,000 barrels a day. The average 18-wheeler, when you think of a tanker that carries 7,000 gallons, if you divide 7,000 gallons by 50, if you consider not a 42-gallon barrel, but a 50-gallon barrel, if you divide 7,000 by 50, you get 120 barrels in a standard 18-wheeler tanker truck. Gentlemen, to move 830,000 barrels a day, it would take 5,253 18-wheelers on the highway every day. Did you say that again? 5,000. If you divide 830,000 barrels a day by 50-gallon barrels, it equals 140 barrels. So if an 18-wheeler carries 140 barrels, to equate to 830,000 barrels a day, it takes 5,253 tankers on the highway every day. So, Mr. Gusick, when you're putting out your plans, your reports, we need to be aimed at our younger generation, our schools, and saying, look, we do care about emissions. Pipelines are the best way to move this. Can you actually include those kinds of statistics, or do you already?
We do include a number of statistics like that. I think your point is a good one, that our world involves trade-offs, and we have to contemplate the pros and the cons each and every time. And unfortunately, I think our school children are mostly presented with the cons and not the pros.